Are you sure?
Yep.
What are you going to be savage about, Bill?
Yeah, wait, Bill, what are you going to be savage about?
Everybody in the fucking chat. Fuck them all with a big rubber dick.
Bill, come on, Bill.
Golly.
Bill, I unmuted it already. They couldn't see you, but I unmuted it right before you started.
I knew that. That's why I said it.
Thank God he was saved by the Robo Bill. Now they see you.
Well, Bill's going to be a savage one way or another, man. It's just the way of the world, man. Just how Bill is. Savage till the day he dies.
You want to see how I'm savage? You want to see savage? Watch this. I'm going to mess with somebody. Hey, Roy, look. Because I know he wants the mod.
Bill,
that was the least savage thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's the least savage thing you've ever fucking done.
I'm not going to be that savage. I'm Roy. He's a good guy.
Roy is a good guy.
Well, however, we have a special guest tonight. How you doing, Mr. Pinkerton? Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm Nick Pinkerton, and I'm from Mod Bros. We make some pretty cool 3D printed squawkers. I'm an old man that works as an accountant during the week, and I play with mods on the weekend.
You said you're an accountant?
I am. I'm a staff accountant. Well, I'm a senior tax accountant at a CPA firm.
That's cool.
Oh,
yeah, so then,
I didn't know it was taxes.
So
I used to be a tax accountant. Sorry. Yeah.
I do other things, during the year, but my focus is taxes.
Do you have your CPA?
I've got 2 of the tests completed. I got to take 2 more, so not yet.
Working on it, huh?
Yeah, I didn't become an accountant until later in life. I worked in the construction industry for probably 16 years, and then we had 08, 09 happen, and I knew I needed to figure out something else to do. So death and taxes, and I picked taxes.
There's always a place for them, man, no matter what. So, I would like to start off by calling out a couple people in chat. If Eric, why would you like to, call some people out?
You can call. You want me to? I can do it, but
I can do it. I don't care.
Okay.
You do it.
I'll do it. Okay. Robert Riggin, what's going on, buddy? Andrew
Hello.
Bressett is in the building. Billy Cooper, we apologize for who your father is. Braden Shiner, William Ancillo. Tweak said he's here just to mess with Eric, or waiting to poke at Eric. Oh, okay. You're real sweet. Roy is in the building, already getting made fun of by Bill because you don't have your mech man yet, Roy. Phoenix Vapor, what a beautiful man he is. Weo609 is just bringing on the debauchery. Mod Bros is in here with that sexy ass logo of theirs. Philly Vape 215 said, "What up, MFers?" What does that mean?
Hello.
Most
Hello.
favorites? Most favoriters?
Most favorites.
Braden, by the way, Nick, apparently you're his daddy.
Pretty much, yeah. I've taken him on as my son.
Sugar daddy.
He's a
Giving out
moderator.
mustache rights?
No, he's got a mustache that rivals mine.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Mustache wars.
Collier is in the building. The Robotalk is savage on his ears, Bill. The Robotalk is savage enough. Show and Tell Vapes is showing and telling his vapes. Sick boy, I hope you get better. Sad to hear that you're sick. No, that wasn't funny. I'm sorry. I was trying a little too hard. Who am I missing? Jason Toohey is here just to see Nick's stash. And Brian Feeney said, "What's good?"
Mr. Feeney.
Oh, Tweak? What about Tweak?
I don't know. Did you say his name?
Yeah, I did, because he's the one who said he was just going to pick on me.
Aw.
Oh, or poke at me. And then I saw someone come in at the just now. Who was it? It was Ricky Mahoney asking if Steve still does reviews.
Hey, I put one up today. I got back in the game.
Wait a second. Did I put out more reviews this week than Steve did?
I think you did.
I took after Bill. I stopped doing reviews.
All right, let me show my nice side. I didn't see the reply. Roy Godin, If you like that mech, man, you want to send me the money for shipping, you can have the mod. I'm not going to charge you for it.
Oh, what a sweet guy. Let's give Bill the Not Savage right now round of applause. Yeah. Yeah.
What did I win?
That's a good question. Steve, this is your channel. What did he win?
Tell me what he's won, Johnny.
Single hand clap.
I can do a no-handed clap. You got what you do is you stand up. You got I don't know.
It's called twerking.
I got boxer briefs on, so it's a little tight right now. But you swing your nuts, and they slap against your leg, and it sounds you know it's a no-handed clap.
Sure, that's a nut clap.
I was gonna do it, but the briefs are a little too restrictive for that. So,
well, on the nut clap that we're talking about, I'm sure everybody knows already, but Mr. Pinkerton, would you like to explain your mission as a mod maker? Did he freeze?
Do we got a Robo Nick?
Robo Pinkerton?
Robo Pinkerton.
It's contagious.
God damn it, Bill! What'd you do?
Bill!
Fucking Bill's roboing everyone out in this bitch.
Damn.
I thought he fell asleep.
Actually, he's just very good at being still. Nick's not really frozen. He's just there he is again.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Let me kick his other him out.
I didn't know you had. You have a brother, Nick?
Your balls and my computer crashed.
Oh,
I got an STD.
So before you turned into Robo Bill, I was asking, I've talked to you before in the past, but I like what you always, you told me about why you make mods and stuff. And if nobody, I'm sure a lot of people know already, they're in the chat, but if you could just kind of delve into it.
Well, what did I tell you? I don't want to say something else and be called a liar.
You just told me you try to put out the best thing at the best price.
Oh, yeah. Because it's basically when me or Dane create mods, we do it because it's what we like. And then if we like it, we figure somebody else is going to, so we offer it to others. And we try not to gouge anybody. I know that a lot of people vape on a budget, and I don't really I don't think I consider what we do high end. We're kind of a stepping stone to get you into a mod that is high performance for not a lot of money.
I'm going to say this here to you, Nick. This has me comfortable with getting ready to sell this, which was double the cost. So I'm just saying.
I would agree. I would agree with what Eric says there. I don't want to interrupt you, but I think that you make the product very, very good, and you make a high quality product for a price that you can't get many other mods at that price if you even bought it secondhand. I think that after reviewing your product, I would recommend it to anybody looking to get into regulated custom stuff. And now seeing Eric's door on his mod, we kind of talked about it before the show. It really is a nice device, whether you're looking
appreciate
for custom. So
yeah, I think it helps that it's not our main source of income. We don't even consider it income. It basically allows us to buy more tools to make cooler stuff, and that's kind of what I've done with any additional revenue, any profit that comes in. I put it right back in, just like buying the laser so I can start doing fully engraved stuff, buying 3D printers so that I can start doing like buttons and different things in different colors, maybe doing Addy stands and whatnot. I'm not trying to make a dollar. I have to be rewarded for my efforts, of course, right? But
right.
I'm not living on this. No, not a single bill of mine gets paid with any funds that comes from Mod Bros. It all goes back into Mod Bros to make something cool.
So, I got a question if you're good with it, Steve. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I was just always curious because it's Mod Bros because there's multiple bros, right? So does each of you have your own niche?
I think so. So Mod Bros started basically as a joke between me and Kyle Millard. You may or may not know, but I used to do RX 200 conversions to Squawk and Wicks and coils. And I did that for, 6 or 7 months. And it got to the point where it was just too much workload. So I really wanted to create something of my own. And Kyle was the first person who ever bought a conversion from me, and we just became very good friends. Like we talked on the phone almost every night, just bullshitting and hanging out. So whenever I got ready to do that, we had always joked about Step Brothers, the movie, how, you know, we'd just become best friends and we wanted to do activities together, build bunk beds. So just on a whim, I created Mod Bros, the group, just as a joke, you know, and me and him were the first two in it. And then we were trying to think of a name, and it's like, I don't know if I like Mod Bros. It's funny because it's an inside joke between us, and every prototype mod that I was making had a reference to Step Brothers. And it just kind of stuck. So we decided to keep it. And then right after we created it, wasn't, 3 weeks later, we brought in Chris and Dane. Dane was going to be our beta tester. And at the time, Chris was just like a real loyal follower and became a good friend. So he was kind of going to be the hype man. But what ended up happening is Kyle did a parallel mod. So the Nagamaki, which is a Dual 18615 parallel, he made about 5 or 6 and released them. And then he ended up going back to the Air Force. So he kind of stopped making anything. So then it was just me doing the mods. And then Dane was running a group, and Chris was starting to play with the doors and getting that going. I can remember the first door he sent me. I'm like, oh, great job, buddy. You know, maybe that's better. But it was like just a few weeks later, he was pumping out like sellable doors. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's gonna get this quick. He's gonna be able to do something cool. And before he had done that, I'd already came out with the Katana, which was basically unusable to him because it has the rounded door. You can't make a stab wood door for it. So it kind of screwed the pooch right off the bat. But I still had the Nighthawk and the Dragon that he could do doors for. But just plain box mods don't do it. So fast forward a little bit, and we came out with the Anamaru that has 2 panels on it. So that kind of gave him an avenue to do customization. And then the 75C is basically based off the Anamaru. And then Dane kind of came out swinging for the fences with his El Diablo MOSFET device. And I think he hit a home run with it. So yeah, we have niches. We each do something different, and we don't really step on each other's toes. You know, I'm not going to make a MOSFET device, and Dane, I don't think he has any real intention to do mechs. So I hope I answered it fully without speaking too.
No, it was good. It was your origin story.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what is the origin story of the Nick Stash?
Braden, I believe, is the one that started doing that. It was one night on SNL. I think probably the first night that I had ever been live. And everybody was talking about the mustache, and Braden kept asking me to measure it. So I got my calipers out, measured it. It was 82 millimeter, no overhang. And that's just kind of how that got started.
No overhang, huh?
Yeah, no overhang.
So you used to make I think you just said it. You used to make the custom reloads, right?
Yeah, the RX 200s. I converted them to Squonk.
Now, did the first one you ever made, was it your own?
It was. I never intended to do any of this. I was getting into Squonk, and at the time, this is 2017, there wasn't a lot available. There was the drone, but it was already discontinued. And
yeah, sold out quick.
And I didn't know about like the high-end groups yet. I was still like Justin Wixon coils and didn't really reach out of there. Mm-hmm. And I had a rouleau, and I knew that you could put a DNA 200 board in one. So I took it out to the garage and stripped it down, and I had a DNA 75. And I'm like, well, let's see if we can rewire it, do a little thing here and there, and make what I ended up making was an 18615 dual parallel. So I had a 75, a DNA 75, 18650 parallel, and I posted it in Wixon Coils, just like, you know, hey, I did a thing, and I got like huge response from it. And I was trying to help people do it. Like they were asking me questions. I'm like, oh, it's pretty simple. You just do this. You run a wire like this way. And I said, here's a PDF. It kind of shows you if you want to do a 250 instead for series. And most people was like, no, what if I just send you mine and you do it? So I don't know. I just saw an opportunity to keep myself busy on the weekends because I like that kind of work. I talked to Jay and he said that I could go ahead and offer the service. And I did. And Kyle was the first one.
Would you say that was the catalyst into pushing you into mods?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have never done it other than that.
Now, do you still have people asking you to do that? Did anyone ever send anything to you?
It's died down now, but probably the first 4 to 5 months after I stopped doing them, I got daily messages asking if I still did the RX 200 conversions.
I remember there were like some reviewers that talked about it, and I seen it, and I thought it was pretty cool because, like you said, man, there were very little devices out that were like that, and I thought that they should have always made that from the jump. You know what I mean? They should have always made that. They just didn't, and then you capitalized on it, man, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is pre-G-Box, so I don't know if Sean's in here or a fictitious character, but it's pre-LE G-Box with the fully engraved and the Tobino on it. So it's basically all there was that was nice. Mm-hmm. And then I got into Cerakoting, so you could send me your 20-year-old beat-up mod, and I'd sandblast it, bend the doors back into shape, and then Cerakote it and send it back, and it would look brand new.
Oh, that's cool. So
now, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, I was just curious how you learned to do all this shit. I know you said you had a background in construction, but
how do you learn how to do stuff? You do it, right?
I usually watch YouTube or ask people.
Yeah, so Cerakoting, I watched YouTube, how to do Cerakote at home, what was needed. I already had an airbrush because I was into models back in the day in RC cars, so I'd paint my own bodies. So I had the airbrush, and I had one that would work, so I bought the trial size of the Cerakote, and I had some old atomizers, the caps that I tried, and some old panels, and I figured it out. I went and bought a $100 sandblast kit. I bought a $400 compressor, just something cheap at Harbor Freight, and I went at it. And the first batch I offered, I thought I had it nailed down. So I offered a huge batch. It was like 10 pieces, 10 RX 200s. And I fucked it just up completely. So I had to re-sandblast everyone and tell everybody I was going to be a week late. It was a learning moment for sure.
I tell you what, Harbor Freight is the hobbyist's best friend.
Oh yeah,
that is the best place in the world for a hobbyist.
Yep,
we don't have that in the mountains.
Not lose any money.
Yeah, I mean, all their tools are throwaway, but I mean, the compressor got me through almost a year making RX 200s. It paid for itself probably 20 times over. So it's a great way to get into something cheap just to see if it's going to work. You can always get better later.
Not to change the subject, but Robert Riggins said, "Phoenix Vape, are you going to be around before noon tomorrow? I'll be headed out that way to chaperone a field trip for my oldest."
I don't think so. Not before noon.
But yeah, what you just said, man, I feel like you just jumped into it, but I don't think a lot of people could just do that, man. You know what I mean? Because it's harder than to put a mod together itself is pretty difficult, but then to rewire it, to do all that stuff is pretty impressive, man.
Well, I've always been into RC stuff, so I already had the skills to solder in wiring. I was going to be an engineer for a minute, so I'd already had a few years of engineering, electrical engineering courses. So I had the basic foundations for that kind of stuff. It's just something that I've always done. For the average person who's never done it, yeah, it's probably not the easiest thing in the world because there's so many micro skills that you have to learn in order to do the entire project. Nothing in itself is difficult. It just, you have to learn it. And I think most people don't have time to invest in it.
Yeah.
I was lucky that I did it as a hobby when I was a kid. So I had 30 years experience doing soldering and electrical work.
So is it true that I heard that there was 2 different reviewers that bought your 75Cs and couldn't figure out how to put the batteries in right? Is that correct?
I knew that was going to come up eventually.
Well, one of them's me. Correct. So
wait, who's the second one?
Philly.
Yeah, Philly. But here's the thing: you should have been able to put them in anyway. Upside down or right sided, nothing happened. They have reverse polarity. Mm-hmm. Yours ended up not being a reverse polarity issue. It's because I didn't have enough bend in your top contact. And when you put your battery in the first time, I'm guessing that it shoved it up a little bit and it stopped making connection. When I got it, I just bent it down, put a battery in, it worked. I pulled the cover off and looked for any burnt boards or capacitors or ICs. I didn't see anything.
So it was probably the battery just firing on its own, right?
You probably got a little arc or something when you shoved it in, is what you heard. Or it could have been the snap when you. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Problem is he was so excited to get the mod, he just jammed the battery in and went out.
Well, that is what happened, and then I freaked out instantly. That normally, if something like that happens, I do try to kind of diagnose it on my own. But I freaked out so badly because I had been so excited that I just literally I had the mod in one hand and I was Facebooking Nick with the other because I was like, I don't want to fuck anything else up again.
Yeah, I felt bad for you. As much shit as I give you, I did feel bad for you getting that, and then because I thought you fried the board, and I'm like, oh well.
So
we got Lakeside in the chat. Was his ears ringing?
Hey Eric, were you using Duracell batteries?
No, it was the same battery. It was the black wrap, and that's how I ended up putting it in wrong. It was upside down. I went because I was recording it, and I went and watched the video, and I did put it in upside down. So
how could you not tell positive from negative? Don't you know what a nipple looks like? You show yours off.
I had the camera. I was like this. Okay, the mod was like this. I'm grabbing the battery. I didn't look. Normally, I don't know why. I was so excited to just get the battery in and turn it on that I didn't even fucking pay
shit
attention.
Happens.
Hey, that thing behind you, is that a 3D printer?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Epax E1. It's a DLP printer, so it's a resin printer. It uses like an LCD screen to shoot ultraviolet light in the resin, and then it hardens layer by layer.
Do you use that for your stuff, devices?
I intend to. I just got it 2 weeks ago, and that's as far as it's made it. When I got it, it was broke, so I had to rip it apart and fix it, and then it sat there after I got it fixed.
So the person behind you, is that your wife?
Yes.
I noticed she vapes too, so there's no issues with the vaping between you, huh?
She's the one that got me vaping. Actually, I'd been a long time smoker. I smoked 3 packs a day for many, many years. And then I quit cold turkey for probably 3 years. And it was during part of the studying for the CPA exam, coming right out of college, looking for my first accounting job. And she came home with one of those little Cardo pens and had some kind of strawberry flavor in it. And it was great. So I stole her pen and was using that to get me through the study portion because it's just hours and hours of boring study. And then we ended up upgrading pretty quick. So I actually went backwards. I was a smoker and then wasn't a smoker. And then I started vaping well after I wasn't a smoker anymore.
Because usually, I don't know, man, like my girl hates that I vape. So it's pretty cool that, at least you got that going,
Yeah, mine also hates.
So he goes out and gets the most expensive fucking mods he can get his hands on.
Well, what's funny is my girl also hates that I do, but I pay the bills and I buy her whatever the fuck she wants too. So I'm gonna buy whatever the fuck I want as well. So
what is it to hate?
I'm gonna go the opposite.
You're talking about Steve, right?
My wife don't like me vaping. I just don't care because I'm married.
Well, I think, my girl is happy that I don't smoke, you know what I mean? Because I was smoking, and it's an upgrade from that. But I think it's just one of the things just to nag about. I don't know.
Were you even old enough to buy cigarettes when you started vaping?
I don't know.
Wait, are you old enough to vape right now?
Damn it, how old am I?
19?
He's breaking out fingers and toes trying to count.
Well, it's like 99, 2000, 2001.
Well, you guys caught me. I'm underage. God damn it.
Oh, you'll be thankful later in life when you still look young, not old like Bill.
I will say this. I am an enabler. My son was smoking under the age of 18, and I got him vaping. So that I did contribute to the delinquency of a minor.
Wow. And you're
Collier
former cop?
said that West Virginia calculator. Yeah, those don't exist here. We got abacuses.
Well, I have two kids, and they started vaping without my knowledge before they were 18. But I know what it's like to be a kid, and I started smoking before I was 18. Started drinking
Same.
before I was
Yeah.
18. So it's one of those. If I can keep it supervised and educate them a little bit, I know they're going to make stupid decisions, but at least now they're more informed, and maybe it'll keep them from smoking. And it did. I mean, they both vape now, and they're well over 18, but they've never gotten into cigarettes because of it, I think.
Do you make them mods?
No. I did once. I made them both RX 200 conversions. They like sub-ohm takes.
Oh, okay. Well, you could still make a non-squonk mod for them.
Yeah, I won't though, because I have enough to do.
I get you. Yeah. So is there any new things in the cooking in the oven for you? Any new devices?
Well, I just finished the Blasphemy, which is a non-squonk 75C device, side fire. It's basically the Onamaru with the 75C in the door instead of the squonk model.
I seen that. It looks cool.
Oh, thank you. It's just going to be limited, like for the SNL waffles in live streams only. Then Dane is actually working on what is going to be the production or list mod for the non-squonk, and I think he's doing either the DNA 60 or the what's that other high-priced regulated board, the die codes.
Die codes.
Ooh.
Codes.
You're doing it. Yeah. He's doing a die codes.
One or the other or both. I'm not sure what he's decided yet. I know he's still in the mix. Die codes. There, he said it.
Yeah, die codes.
I do. Die codes is a great chip, but it adds so much to the price tag. That's the only problem I have with them.
It does. But I recently got a retailer license so that I could get to 75Cs at a reasonable rate. So I'll contact die codes and see if they have wholesale options to get them to where we can offer them under $75,000.
That'd be a good price. Yeah. At least 50K.
75,000. That'll get you what? 10 of them, I think.
It won't get you many of the die codes for sure. I think retail they're like 125 or 130 bucks.
Yeah, they're about that, man. So you got to already tack that on just from the jump to your mod.
Yeah. And as Dane said, the Diablo Plus, which is going to be the MOSFET, it's the El Diablo, but instead of 18650, it's going to be 21700.
Ooh.
What kind of MOSFETs do you guys use?
He uses the ClickFET.
Okay.
ClickFET's decent.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the SwitchFET. That's the only one I didn't like for some reason.
He's a champion of the ClickFET because of the way, if a MOSFET fails, a lot of times they'll fail firing. And I think the ClickFET fires open, so it won't fire when it fails. It just doesn't work. It's a little bit safer. And I got to say, I've got a couple of the El Diablos, and it hits just like a mech to me. I don't notice any voltage loss or battery sag using the mech. It's just like running a mech on the ClickFET.
I don't know if you know what? I'll throw a side thing. We'll talk after the live stream. Like I had talked to, like I said before, I know we made a joke about it, that Leo's not going to make any more Taiji Storms. But he has got boxes of those proprietary MOSFETs that they made. So he might be able to, you might be able to get them off of them for a little bit cheaper than normal.
I might be able to work something out depending on what the form factor is.
Steve, I should have taken your bet on whether or not that Bill would bring up Taiji in this show.
Yeah, now you're out $1 million.
Yeah.
Listen, all right, Meth and M, chill out, okay?
You call me Methanin.
No,
That was fucking good, and you just kept going like you didn't even say the shit.
There he is. That's the Bill I know.
That's the Bill I know.
exactly like the one that's on the top of the stratum.
It's 6:30 or 9:30. You'll argue, but isn't it time for your new segment that you want on the show?
Yeah, Bill's Savage Corner.
I Bill Savage Corner, but I don't know who to pick on. I don't know what to pick on. I've been pretty easy. It's usually just when the mood strikes me. I can't.
Let the Savage out, Bill.
I can't let the Savage out. I have nobody to pick on. I have nothing. I don't want to go into politics. I don't want to go into. You know what? The only thing I'll go into is I fucking hate liberals now. I realize that with all this crap going on.
Keep going. Tell us about that.
Hey, what's wrong with him, man?
I had a problem today at work, and I am just tired of early 20-year-olds fucking thinking they know everything and telling people who are in the world, telling them how to live their life and what they need to do. Fucking
goddamn millennials. God damn it.
Fuck them.
Yeah, Steve.
God damn me.
You're barely out of fucking college. Chill out. You got this plan to fucking be a millionaire by the time you're 30, but you still live at home with your mom and dad. Chill the fuck out, you know? Go out, get a real job, have to work for a boss that you fucking hate. Then come back and tell me about life, all right?
You can keep going. The floor is yours, Bill. More about it.
I'm pretty much done. I'm going to chill out.
What did you want to do to the person that specifically set you off today, though? I want to hear about that.
Oh, dude, I would have loved to just rear back and punch him in the throat. He was just a douchebag. He trying to ask me, he's like, "Why are you working as a nurse?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "You should be a doctor." All right, you want to pay for me to go to college? I'm cool with that. Don't tell me what to do.
Now, hey, doesn't that feel better, Bill? You got the Savage out, and I feel like that was a helpful segment.
It was a little bit session.
It's a little bitch session about a little bitch, it sounds like.
And that was
All right.
Bill Savage Corner.
We'll do the nice thing here. I'll do the same thing. I'm not even going to do a drawing because I've been watching the chat and I've been looking for the people who actually entered the giveaway that I had on Squonk Life and in Vape America. The only person I've seen from the video or from the review who answered my trivia question correct, he's in the chat. Chris St. Clair, if you're still here, you won. You get the Miko Carbon Edition. It is not released yet. I believe it releases sometime next week. I'll get it out to you.
Congrats, St. Clair. You know he owns a vape shop in his living room, right?
A vape shop in his living room.
He's the other person who entered the content in the fucking chat.
He doesn't actually have a vape shop, but the dude collects so much he has more product than most vape shops do.
You guys should see my shelves.
That doesn't surprise me.
I
I think they let the snack pack out, Robert Riggin. I eat those myself, the little snack packs they put in there. They're like little candies.
Snack packs. Hey, he asked us if we could do a vape buffet. So do you guys want to show a couple things that you got going on right now?
Yeah. Well, real quick, Hexome screws for life.
Hashtag Hexome for life. Hexome grooves.
I said it on accident in a video once and nobody noticed it, so I kept saying it. And there's still to this day only one person who's noticed it, and it was Dane Bentley, and he's in chat right now. Or at least maybe they've noticed it, but he's the only one who's ever said anything. Anyway.
All right, if we're gonna do an old school buffet, we'll let the guest go first.
Yeah, Mr. Pinkerton, would you like to shop?
On there, my friend?
Haku Riviera on the Nighthawk V2, fully engraved. And then I also do the El Diablo fully engraved with the flavor RDA. And all my juice is always Cookie Crunch.
Nice.
So that's what I vape pretty much 99% of the time.
You said Cookie Crunch?
Yep, from Tree Factory.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I love it, yeah. But I'm a fat kid, so.
Well, Mr. William, would you like to go and show us what you got?
I'll go. Let's show off the pods first. So the Orchid and the Orion with my Maddox Juma panels. The other pod that I've been vaping on that I actually really like is the silver edition of the Carbon Miko. My cycloid with the Hellfire Strike with the Ultim cap on top. That's rocking icing on the flake. And oh wait, the Taiji.
I would have never guessed.
This is always near me. This is my baby. I love this thing.
We know.
Till the new one comes in. And that is, what do I got in here? I can't even remember. It's some kind of fucking bourbon custard thing. Go ahead, Eric, because Steve is MIA, and all we got to look at is his old lady shawl he leaves on the back of his rocking chair.
He wanted to make sure his dick didn't run away.
Girlfriend's shawl.
Your what? Your girlfriend's
That's my
an old lady?
girlfriend's shawl.
He didn't want me to be the only person savage, so he had to run in the other room and get his balls out of his wife's purse.
Ooh!
God damn it. Fucking Bill just tore me an asshole.
Shots fired.
Jesus Christ. My millennial soul can't take it, Bill.
I'm a millennial too, technically. Wait, Steve, how old are you for real again? 29?
28. I don't even know if that's considered a millennial, but
it is until you're. I think
I'm
31, and I think it's like 35 is the cutoff. If you're 35 right now, you're in the middle. I'm at the older end.
What year were you born, Eric?
What?
What year were you born?
88.
Bill, you're a baby boomer, right?
I'm a baby boomer.
Oh no, you're Gen Y, aren't you, or Gen X? No, I'm Gen X.
No. I looked it up once because someone called me a stupid millennial, and I was like, I'm not even a millennial. And they're like, yeah, you are. And then I looked it up, and it's like 83, I want to say. There's people say different things, so I don't know. But
there's different terms for it, I guess, but different.
You seem like a millennial, so I can see that it being true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who?
You.
What the fuck does that mean, Nick? Man, and look at the first mod that I was gonna do in my buffet.
I wouldn't even do it now. Millennial out, man.
I wouldn't do it either.
I got the Mod Bro 75C with the Lakeside panels, and I got the Geo Mods L Addy on top of that with some
those panels closer to the camera. Dude, I love that perfect river down the middle. That thing is
man. That looks nice.
And I got Taffy Splash Blue Raspberry in there. Okay.
Taffy Splash.
I got the Box Mod Mafia Billy Club with the basic 1.1 Ti Raspberry Lemon Law Lemonade in there. Limelight Freehand Regulated with the Wicked and Squonk Donkey cap, and I got Twisted Sour Lemon Lime in there. And then the last two both have a very, very special juice to me. The Phoenix Vapor Blue Punch that you can get at phoenixvapor.com. Use coupon code RTFA10 for 10% off any order. Anyway, and that would be the Jenna on the top side. And the Palm Plus with the Vicious and Apex. And, oh yeah, I got these two pods. I got the Orchid and the Orion. And then I got a Caliburn over here. And then I got another one. Wait, I think I have something else in my pocket. I forget what the fuck this is called, but Thesis said it was better than the Caliburn, so I wanted to get it to review it, and he's fucking wrong, may I add. But
get out of here. He's wrong.
And you can tell him I said it. I'm going to tell him my damn self. It tastes like plastic.
God damn it.
And I pass it to you, Steven.
Why, thank you. Well, because we have a special guest here, I was using this a minute ago, but I had to review something, so I stopped using it. But this is a, Mod Bros thing. 75. And also, I have the Lola mods with the biochip on top. Also, I have the Mav T with the Limo, Custom, Mountaineer Vapes, Shiz. And then I got my old rusty trusty H cigar VTM box. I almost forgot what it was called. And then in all three of them, I be rocking Keep It 100, toilet water.
God. Boy.
But yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, and that one has the Wicked on top. But
Hey,
Did you ever get the biochip I sent you?
yeah, it just came in today, man. Thank
Nice.
you.
Good.
hey,
It smells like. Hey, what kind of? Sorry, not to interrupt you, but you use like a what kind of e-juice you use? I'm sorry, Eric. Don't burn
I
my
don't remember
soul.
what I used in that. What was it? It was, I believe it was Blackberry Crumble by Dinner Lady was in there.
Okay. It smells like get off my lawn, but I don't. I think that's what you baby boomers like. But
Hey, I'm not a baby boomer. I'm Gen X,
speaking
baby.
of baby boomers, Weo609 said Bill already collecting his AARP benefits and his Jitterbug cell phone. You like those big numbers, don't you, Bill?
I like my Jitterbug. Shut up. I'm using a Jitterbug right now. That camera's tight.
How old are you, Bill?
I'm actually only 48.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not that old.
70.
Bill's actually not that old, but we just make fun of him because he's older than us.
Yep.
Wait, you're actually 28?
Yeah, he's actually 28. Steve's 28
yeah.
and I'm 31.
Yeah, I'm 28.
You some young motherfuckers.
I know. They're still shitting yellow. Fuck.
Well, mine's starting to get a green tint to it, but fucking Steve's is still fluorescent, so.
Yes. Mine's still watery.
Fluorescent, fucking and loose.
You need to go to a doctor if that's the case.
I got ringworm
So,
What are you gonna
how
do?
does the Mountaineer shit?
in a tin can.
Wait a minute. That his boyfriend makes him take.
Well, I got a outhouse out back, you hear? And we just drill us a big hole in the ground and shit's in it.
So,
What you gonna do?
so Nick is pretty savage too when he wants to be. Every time he's in my live chat, I'm scared. I'm petrified of what he's going to say next.
I just feed off weed.
Oh man, you feed off of weed.
Is a good fucking jumping board.
If you feed off of weed, man, you might want to get your mouth checked because that's some nasty shit to have in your mouth.
Dude, he's one of those guys that he's always got some fucking one-liner to say. Like, even when he messages me to ask me a question, like 3/4 of the top of it is just, I'm a dumbass, stupid motherfucker. And then the bottom's like, hey, buddy, can you help me out?
Insults first, then asks later.
Ricky Mahoney said Steve has to buy his juice at 7-Eleven because he's underage. That's why he only vapes Keep It 100. Oh!
God damn, man.
What's funny is I was just at 7-Eleven and saw Keep It 100 on their shelf, and I thought of Steve when I saw it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty ironic.
Well, joke's on you. We ain't got a 7-Eleven around these parts, okay? I don't want to
have
hear
a store
that.
at all. He's got to walk uphill without any fucking shoes.
They
And
got a.
Wait, you don't have
dinner.
tank because they don't know how to count.
you don't have Harbor Freight, you don't have 7-Eleven. Do you have Walmart out there?
Yeah, we do have we have one 7-Eleven, but it's like you don't want to go there unless you want to get shot. Like it's like you don't.
No.
Nick,
They don't have Walmart. Nick, they have an S on the end. For some reason, people in that area call it Walmarts.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's Mountaineer. You know what I'm saying? It's the mountains. It's West Virginia. Of course they got a Walmart. That's probably
my God,
that's their
dude, there's
biggest
like-
clientele. People probably
like
have their
100
weddings in
Walmarts.
Walmart there.
Dude, there's probably about 5 Walmarts.
We don't
And
shop
like-
at Walmart.
True story.
We don't shop at Walmart. We have money. We shop at Target.
I worked at Taco Bell in my early 20s, and true story, someone literally did get married in the Taco Bell I worked at. They wanted to get married there, and they didn't work there. They asked to have their wedding there, so we closed down.
Life goals.
We closed down for 2 hours, and they had their wedding there. They like arranged it with the owner and shit, and
Can you imagine that wedding night anal?
Motherfucker.
oh,
Wait. I missed that. What I miss? I was reading comments.
he said. Nick said, "Can you imagine that wedding night anal after Taco Bell?"
Oh. Probably looks like the way Steve poops.
No.
And it does.
Sick Boy wants to know if you have a Piggly Wiggly.
No Piggly Wiggly.
No, but Piggly Wiggly was the name of who Steve lost his virginity to.
God damn, man. How did you know that?
Well, that was right before the barbecue.
Yes.
Oh my God. That gives no meaning to the term. Stop playing with your food.
Steve's like, okay, you guys, I see.
Whoa. You guys got to get it right, man. It ain't pig, it's sheep.
He was just tenderizing his dinner.
Yes.
Yes.
From the inside.
Wait, how else can you tenderize stuff other than from the inside?
No, all right. Beating your meat is not a fucking literal term.
Well, they don't teach us that kind of stuff where I'm from, Bill.
Oh.
I'm more educated, and we're a little more high class on this coast. We call it punching the munchkin. Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't you from Jersey, Bill?
Yes, I am technically.
I wouldn't say you were high class then.
I know Bill was a Guido when he was a youth, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
I thought you said you were like the Jersey boys.
I was no. I was a bit of a Guido, and then I rolled over into a burnout. I was the guy with the long hair, the ripped jeans,
That was
t-shirt, bandana around the leg.
my brother's dad, who's also
style.
this will make Bill feel old, but my brother's dad, who's about the same age as you, Bill, he's from this, and he was my stepdad. He's from the same area, and yeah, same shit. He had his high school senior picture. He's got long ass curly hair like a perm. He's got a big ass gold chain on his neck. He's wearing one of those shirts where like all that fucking
Got a little bit of hamburger
sticking
fluff
out.
sticking
Yeah, the hamburger meat is sticking out of the front of his shirt. Man, he's lucky. He got busted for selling drugs when he was in high school, and his dad was the police chief, so they let him off by just sending him to the military. That was what the judge made him do. You join the military, you go to jail.
And,
Yeah, I was gonna say, Philly. I don't GTL on the weekend because you know what? I do the gym. I did the laundry. I'm a ginger. I don't tan.
Carlos said that.
Flat white and tomato red. That's it.
Carlos said a ginger Guido. That must have been a great sight.
Hey, I was the crazy guy, so I didn't mind.
Wait, what the hell is a GTL?
Why the hell did you
Gym
say
Tan
what?
laundry.
Huh?
Jim Tan Laundry. That was made popular on a show called Jersey Shore. But the problem is that's where I used to live when I was young. I lived in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. None of those motherfuckers are from New Jersey. They're all from New York.
Wait, that place got wrecked, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
I'm
cleaned.
Ginger. He goes ginger. I gotta hide from the sun. I literally have to spend a month in the sun, sunburn about 14 times, and then I start to tan.
So wait, Nick, where are you from?
Missouri. Near
Missouri.
St. Louis.
Misery.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, we're leading the nation in homicides right now, so we've got that going for us.
Hey,
That's a good thing to brag about. Oh yeah, and your football team, the Chiefs, half of their players are getting kicked out of the NFL, so that's cool too.
We don't really claim them because they're closer to Kansas City.
I thought Kansas City was in Missouri. I thought Kansas City was half in Missouri.
It
Great,
is.
great excuse, Nick.
We still don't claim them.
Yeah.
What happened to the Rams? Where'd they go? Are they?
I think the owner decided to fuck St.Louis over, so he moved them out to California.
Stan Kroenke is his name, right? I
He
think
did
so.
too.
I
Yeah.
can't speak his name.
Oh, were you a Rams fan?
Yeah, well, so I was high school, maybe right out of high school when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, with the greatest
Kurt
show on
Warner.
turf. Yeah, man, that was a dope team.
Yeah.
Do you know Nelly then?
No, I don't know him. I know of him.
Not
you don't
personally.
you don't shake your tail feather, Nick,
No, I don't take all my clothes off when it's getting hot in here either.
and you don't drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Drop down and get your eagle on, girl. No, I'm just kidding.
I thought all
know he
Missourians
lives in
did that.
St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken. Now,
Yeah, he does. You put I'm surprised Nick's not wearing a Band-Aid under his eye.
Yeah.
That's not right, man.
Wait, so he's from Missouri?
Yeah, Nelly's from
Nelly
St.
is?
Louis.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why he had his little group, the St. Lunatics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up on the U Loop or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
UC Loop.
Wait, is Tech 9 from Missouri?
Yeah. Well, Kansas City. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's from the Missouri side or the Kansas side of Kansas City, but
Oh, is Billy throwing up a Pats reference?
yeah. Shh, don't
That's
say that
true,
in front
man.
of Nick.
Yeah.
Hey, always remember, you know what? They're tied for having the most wins in the Super Bowl, but they own the most losses in Super Bowl by themselves.
You talking about the Patriots?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Braden just let us in on some insider information about Nick. Apparently, in high school, his nickname was
Twerkerton.
Nick Twerkerton.
So
I had a lot of nicknames. That was not one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a lot of nicknames too.
Twerkerton. That's a stupid name.
Casey Mo, he says. That's true. He does say Casey Mo.
Well, yeah.
The killer clowns in your town raising all hell. Sorry.
Speaking of twerk and dancing, I know that you're a rapper. Did you know that Mailman was a b-boy back in his early days?
I know he tried to rap too. I mean, rapped too. I'm just picking on him. He's
Tried
a
to rap.
B-boy. So he was delivering those dance moves? Is that just...
Yeah. He said he could do the head spin and everything. I tried to get him to do it the other night, but he wouldn't.
You can break dance?
See, this is the stuff that you missed out on because you kept talking over him when he was on your show. If you would have let him talk about himself a little bit, you would have found out some pretty cool things.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
What?
The only mailman just kept telling us he was a bottom or a top.
Yeah, that's
all
all
we
he
could get out
said.
of him.
Every time we did, we tried. Nick was,
He was
in
like,
the
"I'm a
comments
bottom."
like, I want to know more about your guest. And we would say, tell us more. And he'd say, I'm a
Mailman.
bottom.
I'm a power bottom.
I'm
is
a
what
power,
he
yeah,
said.
that's what he said. Power bottom. He said, that's why I deliver the mail. Get it? Deliver the mail.
Power bottom, man.
I didn't know whether, you know what? I didn't know which side he was because he was either a power bottom, or he's either taking it in the mail slot or he's delivering the mail, one or the other.
God damn.
Your eyebrows can't go much higher, Eric. It's fine.
So I figured it out. I get comments on my videos all the time. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with your eyebrows? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, they move everywhere. It's like they have a mind of their own. It's because, so my mom, ever since, there's like literally videos when I'm like 6 months old, before I could even talk, she had me singing harmonies, right? Because she was like, I don't know. She thought she was going to be a famous singer. I don't know. She's a good singer, but not famous good. So she had those and like one of the big things when you're singing is using your eyebrows. So like when you hit a high note, you're supposed to raise them up high. When you go deep, you're supposed to. And so she would make me sit there and just like, okay, you need to make your eyebrow muscles nice and strong. So I would have to sit there for an hour and just go.
That sounds like child abuse.
It is.
Yeah, I was going to say that
was.
would be child abuse around here.
Well, it is 2019, so anything that involves making your child do anything besides play video games is child abuse.
It's child.
What? What, Robo?
Ring. His eyebrows don't move when he does that. Oh. When you do the scoring.
Oh, scoring. Yeah. What'd it do, Steve?
I see that nice Avengers hat you got there.
You like it?
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Thank you.
Hey, so we do have a guest here named Nick Pinkerton. I would like to ask you something, Mr. Nick.
Go for it.
I seen that you've been doing them custom like engravings and stuff on these.
Yep.
How does it make it look like the way it does? Because it almost looks like a completely different material.
Yeah.
Well, so this one is fully engraved and it's kind of shiny, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Looks like plastic almost.
Well, I use on the fully engraved stuff, since PA12 will fade over time, and it's not an issue for a non-engraved mod because it's solid color. You can just dye it yourself or send it back to me and I'll dye it for you. But when I'm doing a fully engraved mod, they're all dual colors. So you have a base black or whatever color's base and then a secondary dye. So I didn't want that color fading at all because I would never be able to bring it back. So I started experimenting with different things to actually coat the mod to lock that color in. And wood turners that make pins and finish wood, they use a CA glue to finish the wood and the pins, and it dries completely clear, and it gives a really nice protective coating. So I got some murder gloves and started dipping my finger in that and rubbing it on the mods. And on the FEs, it turns out really neat. I think it gives them a totally different look, a totally different feel. Still 3D printed, still light, but I don't know, it kind of changes the overall vibe of the mod, and I personally love it.
Does it feels different then, huh? Does it feel?
So it feels more like a Delrin or an Ultimate mod, real smooth, real slick. In fact, like this one is coated in CA, so it doesn't look 3D printed really anymore because it's got gloss.
Now, how long does that last on the mod? Forever?
This has been going for 6 months daily use up until about a week ago, and it looks like the very same day that I put the CA coating on it. So long-term use, I don't know. 6 months use, it still looks brand new.
Yeah, that still looks good.
And I've had really, really positive feedback with the CA. So like here's an Ani that's fully engraved with blue, and then the white engraving, but the CA just, I don't know, it kicks the colors up a notch too. It makes the blues deeper, the blacks deeper, and just brings out a lot of detail.
Wait, how do you get the white and blue?
So you base dye it blue, all right, so the entire mod's blue. Then I put it in a laser, and I actually laser off the top layer of blue, and then it shows the raw nylon.
Okay.
I just coated it, and that's how I got the blue and the white.
Dude, that's cool.
Similarly with the black, or the black and the red, this was a black mod that I lasered off the top layer, and everything that's still black didn't get lasered. And then I just dyed it red and then coated it.
That's pretty cool, man. I always wondered how you got the two colors.
When I first started doing mods, I always wondered how too. Like I'm like, how are they doing that? I thought they were painting. Like, I thought they were actually engraving inside of like SolidWorks or Inventor and then having it printed with the engravings already on it, and then just hand painting, right? Mm-hmm. And then coating it.
Sure.
For the longest time, that's what I thought it was. And I don't remember how I found out or why I found out. I don't know what clicked, but I just knew I needed to get a laser, and I started playing with it. And
I think it's crazy that you found that coating, man, because I've never seen anybody do that.
Well, so there's a guy that was a modder from years back, probably 4, 5, 6 years back. He was friends with, I don't know if you guys know who Apple Bottom Mods is or have heard of Apple Bottom Mods.
Yeah.
Wait, I've heard of Big Apple Mods.
That's it. I'm sorry. Big Apple. Yeah.
Big Apple, right?
So he was friends with this gentleman who does machine work stuff now. He's big into the TEG mini mill scene, modding them and putting power draw bars on them. And that's how I got to know him. And then he found out that I made mods. So he was like, hey, have you ever tried this? And I'm like, no. And so I started researching it after he kind of mentioned it. And I tried it a bunch of times. I could never get it to work because he said to use these makeup applicators. But you put the CA on the applicator, and the applicator would go hard instantly, and I couldn't get an even finish. And then one day I just had a murder glove on and just slammed my hand in it and started rubbing it over the mod, and it worked really well.
What's murder glove?
So black nitrile gloves, like what you would murder somebody with, not to get caught.
Sure.
Bill knows.
Yeah. Bill has a lot of expertise with those. Well, I always like to hear the breakdown of stuff like that, man, because we had another modder on before, and I just find all this stuff really interesting.
A lot of stuff that is just playing. Like, I would buy extra bodies, extra mods every time I do a list just to play with. I have a drawer or two full of mods that are done nothing but testing and seeing what I can do and seeing what holds up. I always worry about the color fade. It doesn't bother me because I just re-dye them and I have a brand new mod again. But I know some people, it's like a huge issue if their mod fades over the course of 4 or 5 months. Some of them I think look better once they've faded. It gives the mod character.
I thought PA12 was pretty good at not fading.
So it depends on the dye you use. PA12 sucks the dye in well, and you can get deep penetration. But the color fast comes from the dye that it's actually being dyed from. And then there's some PA12 that comes black. So it's the powder's black, and it produces an all-the-way black mod.
So I think the main thing you're saying is deep penetration works.
Deep penetration works for everything, yes.
Yes.
So you said that you buy things just to play with them. Mailman Vapes 2 said he's available for 3 pennies, and if you buy him, you can play with him.
I feel like I could get him for free.
Yeah. So you got to remember, he's a power bottom.
No, I want to say that I really appreciate it, Nick, because a lot of the stuff you've talked about making your mods, you're very open. We've had other modders, and you can hear when they talk, they kind of always hold a little something back. They don't want to give up too much. You've been straight up honest, and you know what? That's greatly appreciated. It's a rare thing.
I don't feel like I have anything to hide if I can help somebody else make their own mod. I mean, I offer DIY version of our mods on our website. So if you want to build your own, dye it, and like Chris St. Clair, the guy that won yours, whenever he gets a mod from me or buys a DIY, he always gets it raw, and then he does his own dye. And he's like the master of doing multicolor fades, going from like a neon green to white or an orange to white. Like he's got that fade stuff on lockdown, just using dye. So I like that. I like when people build their own shit. I think that's cool.
I had an idea that I posted in one of your groups about the thing that I thought about taking dye and just using a Q-tip and putting like tiger stripes across it in like a green or a blue, and then going with a different color, let it sit and soak and penetrate a little bit, and then dye the whole mod like a different color to see if those stripes would show through. But and a couple of people were like, "Tell me I want to do it," but
it would work as long as you were able to get the dye. You would have to start with your darkest color first.
Of course, yeah.
And then you need to make sure that you get enough dye. It would probably be the best way would be to actually mask it off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The parts that you didn't want dye to hit, and almost do like the old tie-dye did. And then what would happen is you could kind of get your stripes may not be perfect, but it would fade into the next color and would be pretty badass.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm going to do it, but never have the money. The timing never shows up right, so I'll do it eventually one day.
There's a katana sitting on our website, pretty cheap. 2-week lead time.
That brings up the next question. What's your website? Where can people find you?
So our web store is modbrosforlife.com, and it's modbros, the number 4, life, LYFE. And then, of course, Mod Bros Facebook.
That's a St. Louis talk.
Mm-hmm. Hey, is there any exclusives you can show us?
No. Everything I do, I post. Like I don't really hold anything back. How about one more FE? This is the Rapture that doesn't get shown a lot because it's pretty limited.
See, that's my speed right there. I like that. I like small minimalist mods.
Damn,
yeah,
man,
this is my favorite.
That thing's small, man.
It's 21,700.
That thing's pretty cool. I was gonna say something earlier and I had forgot, but I think I remembered now. it's when you said that, you don't make a profit off anything and it all goes back into your products. I think that's a good thing because it shows, man. I think it shows like that you really put a lot into the devices because a lot of other people just make a profit off of it. So they'll sell that same mod for a long time. But if it goes back into the company like that, I notice that's a big thing, man.
Well, and we also, so in our SNLs, and I know that I'm pretty sure every one of you has been in it at least once or twice. Yeah. We try to get like high-end atomizers, hard to get atomizers. Dane, especially because he's in probably 700 Facebook groups and has got his thumb on the pulse. But we like to bring those and offer for Waffle to the guys in our SNL because for one, you might win a Skyfall for $18. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah.
And it's atomizers, and not everybody has reach or pocket to get, so that money goes to that as well.
You know how to get Steve to show up to those more is you gotta waffle off a Fuchai squonk.
Yeah, I ain't seen those yet. Yeah, those things are collectors, man. You come on, man. You can't even hold a thumb to a goddamn Fuchai.
That's a nice
life.
Whatever, you guys look at me like I'm just from West Virginia or something because I like my Fuchai. I don't understand.
Wow, he throws the whole accent on.
Yeah.
You want me to talk like this? Would that make you happy?
Yeah. Please do. Nah, but I do.
That. My boss asked me, he goes, how do you do the accent? I was like, you got to learn how to say this. Hey, my name's Vinny Bag of Donuts. I live on West 33rd Street with my best friend Tweety Boy, who drowned in his water dish.
There's the Guido we know.
Nobody from New Jersey talks like that. None of us.
No, but look, that's one of the main things when I reviewed your mod, man. I really like what you had said. So not a lot of people, companies, modders say that kind of stuff. So I really, was happy to review a product like that.
I appreciate that. We just try to have fun. That's the main thing about us. We're just trying to have fun, and part of our fun is making mods. So I like the challenge, and I like coming up with new things. And I'm not going to say I don't like when people say that they like our mods. Like, that's cool in itself, just to have other people appreciate what we've done. The main thing too is the friendships that I've made. Like, I've met a lot of cool people doing this that I wouldn't have met any other way. And our group is it's like taken on its own culture now, where it's just like everybody in there is just cool. You can go in and talk shit and have fun. And, we're not overly heavy handed with the moderation. It's just a chill place to be. It's like the place that I live now.
I like that aspect and that take on it, just not to be so serious about everything, man. Because there's a lot of groups that if you overstep your bound or you act, how they don't want you to act, you're done, man. You're out of the group. So those are the kind of groups I like that you're talking about, man.
Yeah, I mean, we have basic rules like everybody else, but it's pretty much a free for all. The main thing is don't be an asshole. That's really
key. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Don't be a Bill. You know what I mean? Just be.
Don't be a savage Bill.
Work long and hard to attain that title. You will address me as due.
I'm sorry, Sir Dick.
Oh, my name? What?
No, we weren't asking what you're eating later.
Oh. Well, yeah. Well, it makes sense. I'm having dinner with Bill.
Man, Mailman even on the show, and it's still starting to get kind of unmonetizable.
It just went from PG-13 to R.
Uh-huh. Well, I think I'm going to call the show at 10:10.
No, it's 7-Eleven, which you don't know what that is because you don't have one.
That's not real. You just made that up. Take it back.
You take it back. 7-Eleven. Oh. Oops.
Well, Mr. Pinkerton, would you like to start the outro?
I don't have anything prepared, so I'll say thanks for having me on the show. It's been a great time. I really appreciate it, and have a great night.
Thank you for being here. Bill?
Oh, thank you for being on the show, Mr. Nick. I will be messaging you. As soon as I have some spare scratch on the side, I will come after one of those mods. Listen, is that your age, your IQ, or your sperm count? What are you showing us there, Eric?
How many times you've gotten laid?
Oh.
Got him.
Oh!
Because I was going to go really hard on that one. You know what? Sometimes I joke around and I don't realize, and I've ended friendships with some of my comments.
No, we can take it.
Thank you to everybody in chat. You guys are awesome. You're the reason we're here. We will continue to do this as long as you continue to show up. Thank you to Eric for taking everything in the back end. I mean, taking care of everything in the back end. Thank you, Steve.
Taking it in the back end.
I'll pass it on to Eric.
So Steve can go last and bitch about it.
Well, he was busy with something in his mouth, so I didn't want to be rude.
What's new?
That's the norm, you know.
Oh, those millennials, they're on the same track. Yeah, he said,
Where's your mic, man? Well, all of a sudden you're muffled.
me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do not realize. I'm just moving my lips and making you guys think that I'm talking.
sounds like Bill's internet, man.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, thanks for coming, Nick. It was fun. Thanks for always trolling us in the chats. That's always fun as well. Oh, you're welcome, he said. Oh, you're welcome. I'm still chasing after that Nick Stash version 3. I will fucking get one. But it's been hard. It's been hard to find one. I actually watched, I'm getting a little off track here since there's sign-outs, but I watched like one of my first reviews the other day, and I forgot that I had actually grown my shit out about this time last year. So I can do it, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. Go back and watch my first review ever. I got proof, okay?
I know.
Stop making fun of me not being able to grow shit on my face. All right?
I know. Estrogen just fucks with his hair growth.
Yeah. Thanks, chat, for being here. Thanks, Bill, for being awesome. Thanks, Nick, for being awesome. Thanks, Steve, for being the one douchebag we could have on the show. You're still pretty though. You're still pretty.
Thanks.
I'd do it. I'd hit it.
He's so pretty.
He is so pretty. He is. I mean, I don't think he understands. Anyway,
I'd smash it.
I'd smash it all night long. What? Stand in line, Nick. Stand in line. It's 7:15, so we're getting the hell out of here. Thanks for joining us, guys. Go subscribe to Bill, and you've probably already subscribed to Steve if you're here. And if you want great mods at a great value, go talk to Nick. We posted his website link and Facebook group link not too long ago in the chat. The Taiji. Bill ain't even paying attention. He's like, "Yep, you're right."
There he is.
Over here.
Finally. Got him.
I was moving on camera. I'm sorry.
Oh, pass to Steve.
Oh, thank you. Okay, at 10:15, now 10:16. Thank you, Mr. Pinkerton, for being on the show. I appreciate it greatly. It was a joy to hear about, Mod Bros and everything like that. I really do like your devices. I think they are top notch and probably one of the best deals you can find right now in the vape game. So, and that's not just because you're here. I'm not just saying that, but
Keep going. I'm almost finished.
Here, let me help you, Nick.
Wow. That was beautiful without skipping a beat.
But yes, I do appreciate you being here, and then I do want to thank the chat as always for being here as well. I want to thank Mr. Bill for his first Savage Bill's Corner, and it was a good one. Hating on the millennials, I get it. You know what I mean? Millennials will be millennials, Bill. It's just what it is. And I would like to thank Eric for taking it. I mean, doing the rear stuff. You know what I mean? And yeah, at 10:17, I will say goodnight.
7:17. Haha, I control the back end. Haha,
Oh,
7:17.
wait. Also, subscribe to Billy and Eric the Politician.